Hello and welcome in. My name is Karen. This is Lost Souls Tarot. Um, I'm delighted to announce that after a month, because this is a very new channel, I now have 10 subscribers. I'm into double digits. It's getting quite heady. If anybody listens to this video, and I realise my viewings are still low at the moment, and you think I'm too quiet or I'm too softly spoken, please let me know in the comments. I'm a little bit paranoid that I'm just slightly too quiet. The microphone is literally right here, but I'm just a little self-conscious about it. I sound fine, but I'm used to listening to my voice. So let's see. Right, we're going to start with 3 archetypes. Whenever I use these, they tend to give a little narrative, like a beginning to a story, a beginning, a middle, and an end. So I usually take 3. So let's do 3 archetypes and see where we're going today. There we go. Right. I wish I'd switched my heating off before I came to do this. I'm suddenly very warm. So I hope you all had a lovely weekend. It is Sunday afternoon. I went for a very big, wet, rainy walk with my German Shepherd, Luna, who is downstairs right now. So she may come up and say hello, or she may not. She is absolutely wiped out. So we have the sword. Okay, I've never had this one before. Getting a bit of an Ace of Swords vibe to that one, but we'll check the book in a minute. Oh, there's 2 here. Okay, hang on. Look at the sword in the upright and the prayer in the reverse. I'm going to take both of these. I don't know. I've never had either of those cards before. The sword, the sword is giving me an Ace of Swords feel, which Ace of Swords? Yes, Ace of Swords feel, which is kind of like truth, clarity, or like a new beginning, or clarity about a new beginning. But let's see. I'm taking the third one, and the prayer in reverse. It's almost like prayer's not being heard, but let me see, because oh, I don't feel like I did that right. I'll do that again. That one. It's the exact same one that came out flipped again. I'm not sure if it's in the upright or not. I think it might be in the reverse, because I think that's a pair of lips holding a diamond, and I think it's in the reverse. But let me see, because I've made that assumption before, and then the book has thoroughly corrected me. So we'll see. Right, I'll need my spectacles for this part. Oh, right. Okay. Oh, I should have cleaned these. I'll make do. Bloody vision. Right, 57. The sword. Oh no, that's 62 actually. I can't read. Oh, I clearly should have had an afternoon nap after my big walk. Ooh, the venom. Right, the sword. The knife, the blade, the weapon. When light, cutting through to what is essential. To use the sword is to decide. The blade separates one reality from another. The choice is made and all else fades away. The sword in your grasp. If you find the sword in your grasp, you can no longer hesitate. This weapon requires a clear and decisive mind and a willingness to act. So it almost feels like someone's made a decision and they just need to act. Okay, interesting. Boundary making, prioritizing, and clarifying are all gestures made possible by the sword. Getting a bit of a king and queen of swords, like I always say, they don't mince their words, they cut right through it. There's no there's nothing interesting there. Okay, so yeah. All right, so it is about making a decision and almost like a new beginning. I'm not sure the decision. I get the feeling the decision's made. Right, the prayer, which is 65 in the reverse. So in the upright, it's the worship, the reverence, the homage, offering to be of service, asking for guidance. But in reverse, expecting results, self-aggrandizement. So it's almost like a sense of entitlement if it's in the reverse. It only gives you like one tiny little explanation of the card in the reverse, and it gives you like a whole spiel for it in the upright. So all I've got is expecting results, self-aggrandizement. A little bit of a, I don't want to say a little bit of a narcissistic vibe, just a little bit of, yeah, entitlement. Not sure this is a collective's energy or not. So I'm not sure if you can hear that. This reading being protected by Officer Hades. I mean, Officer Luna. I call her Hades. That's her call sign. So get quiet, low, humble, and soft. So if it's in the reverse, it's somebody who's not those things. I feel like the sword is your energy. I'm not sure the prayer in the reverse is your energy, unless, I mean, we were all immature once, you know, maybe, you know, there's the ways I've behaved in my teenage years that I would never dream of behaving now. So I'm 71, right, okay, hang on, I'm all itchy now, Eros. Oh, it's actually on its side. That's interesting, because the correct orientation is that way. So it's on its side, so it's between the upright and the reverse. So in the upright, love is desire, eroticism, sensuality, passion, playfulness, sexual health. And then in the reverse, madness, projection, obsession. Though Eros can be depicted as unbridled sexuality and eroticism, a more contemplative understanding of this archetypal energy leads us to the root of desire itself. What do we long for? Why are we awakened by love? What makes us hesitate in the face of intimacy? Eros can reconnect us with the primal longing to merge with another human being, nature, music, art, plants, food, or anything that we perceive we are separate from. Okay. So we've got seen some clarity. We've got someone who's not that humble, and then we've got someone who's somewhere between decadent sexual desires and more an intimacy, essentially, in the upright, is how I would describe that. Why do I feel that this Eros card is one person coming from the upright and one person coming from the reverse, and then there being a clash in the middle? So one person's looking for love, sorry, brain not functioning. Everlasting love, there we go, that'll do it. And the other one's looking for something more fleeting, more superficial, more whatever. Maybe friends with benefits. And then the prayer in the reverse is this kind of self-aggrandizement. I feel that isn't the collective's energy. It may be this person in the reverse. So I think there's 50% of this reading is your energy. So it's the sword and the Eros in the upright, I think. And then the prayer in the reverse and the Eros in the negative is this other person. And I just feel like there's this clashing of beliefs. Okay, I'm going to take a card from the happy deck. Or should we take one from the next one? No, let's take one from the happy deck. Let's take one from the happy deck. I respond, I don't react. Okay. So, okay, if this person was a little egotistical, then yeah, I'm sure they tried to push your buttons. Or maybe I just get a sense of entitlement, actually. It's a really icky energy. I think if you did fancy this person, I'm not sure you fancy them anymore because the personality doesn't feel that nice. Okay, in which case, what are we going to do, guys? Should we take a line from the High Priestess deck? And then I got some new oracle cards. I love oracle cards. And since this feels like, it doesn't necessarily, well, I was about to say it doesn't necessarily need to be a romantic, but since Eros is there, I think it is. It's definitely romantic. So I got some new oracle cards in. They're called I can't see the name of the deck and I've got a terrible memory. Okay, I've got the Year of the Rat coming out. It's 1960, 72, 84, 96, 2008 and 2020, which means the next one is 2032. So it might be someone who was born in the Year of the Rat, or one of those years is significant. Oopsie. Well, that one fell off the top, so we need to take it. Artemis, perfect shot. Artemis is my hero. She really is. Her and Thoth. I'll not say any more on that. I've got spring. So spring hasn't sprung yet. Spring doesn't start until the 21st of March through to the 21st of June. This could be last spring or something that's coming up. It could be spring in the Year of the Rat, actually. The perfect shot feels a little more present. Feels like somebody's been biding their time. Okay, so we've got the 1960s coming out. So this could be somebody who was born in 1960, which means they would be 66? Oh, I got that right? Yes, 66. Okay. October 1960. If these don't resonate, by the way, you can just fast forward to the tarot and the oracle readings. I do them at the beginning, and I think it might put people off, but I prefer using the High Priestess deck. It really gives me a really good energy for the rest of the reading, in terms of the vibes that come off these cards. Okay, 2010s. So there wasn't a year of the rat in the 2010s, which is interesting. Okay. Red flags. So I think you've known this person for a while. This might not be something that happened. Maybe you're just getting clarity about this now. Maybe you've been hung up on someone for a really long time, and you're just getting clarity now about how you both were coming from very different places. I mean, I think if you're not emotionally available, you're not looking for anything serious, and the other person is, you should walk away as an act of decency. But let's face it, everybody's not decency. Yeah, I've got someone who's avoidant and got commitment issues. Like, you can't make this up, really. Okay, right. I suspect it's this Eros in the reverse person and then this prayer in the reverse person. Or this could be something more recently and you've known them since the 2010s and you'd seen the red flags in the past. It's not clear. So I pulled out quite a lot of tarot decks, but let's give the, oopsie, I'm going to give the, since it has come out with a bit more of a romantic vibe, let's take the, so they're called the Sweet Love Tea Oracle cards. Oh, the little paper heart floating on a cup of coffee. That must have taken somebody ages to get that set up. Oh. Right, cool. Let's go, guys. I'm going to take my glasses off. Just because they're mucky and I don't want to bore you by, or don't want to pause it, or clean them. Attraction. Having great chemistry or able to manifest love. Desire, power, allure. Okay, so this is somebody you were attracted to. Maybe because their behaviour reminded of something of a childhood patterning or wound. Fluttering heart, enjoy the romance and decide if you want more. Sweet, fleeting future. Yeah. I mean, this could be somebody you had a dalliance with in the 2010s and then they came back for another. Sorry, I've got a hair tickling me somewhere. Don't you hate that when you've got like a hair? I washed my hair this morning and it rained on me the whole time and I came back looking like Wurzel Gummidge. So I had to just go and straighten it and tidy myself up because it was like a haystack. Love's wings. Put aside differences and soar to the next level. Divine devotion ascend. I think you've ascended. The vibe I'm getting here is that there was something fleeting that happened in the 2010s. They've come back more recently, possibly in 2020. I'm getting like now. Or maybe last spring. And I think you're not the same person anymore. And this person, like most people I meet from my past, they haven't grown. I'm not saying people can't grow, but most people tend not to. And I'm not saying that maybe I'm projecting the same person they were in the past onto them rather than seeing them clearly, but I tend to find that they haven't grown. I sound really quite self-aggrandized there. I don't mean it. Baby steps. Take your time and build your love slowly with care. Absolutely relaxed, deliberate, aware. None of this hot, cold drama. It's not healthy. If somebody's getting you up all in your head, it's not meant to be. And I feel this person got you all up in your head. I think there was chemistry, but chemistry isn't love, and you can't build anything on chemistry if the person's inconsistent. Power balance, have a mutual respect, have mutual respect and shared responsibilities, equality, respect, care. This is what you want. This is what you want here. So this is what happened in the past, this attraction and this fluttering heart and this quick, passionate drama, whether it was in the 2010s or again more recently. But you're wanting you've just changed. You know what you want now, which is why we had the sword in the reverse here, the upright. Time heals. Be patient and give time a chance to work its magic. Honest, reliable, mature. Could be that you've carried feelings for this person for a long time, and maybe now, especially if they've come around again. I'm remembering that episode in Friends. If you haven't watched it, it doesn't really matter. But there's an episode, and I think there's a similar one in Sex and the City as well. I'm showing my age here, where somebody meets, the high school handsome jock kind of person, the one that all the girls wanted, and they're like now just like a complete immature loser, and the main character, who is one of the more quiet ones, is ascended in their life and is doing really well. And it's more just like, I get that vibe here, like this person came back around and you're like, you are really immature. This is not what I want. You're not capable, essentially, because they've got avoidant commitment issues. Prepare for a rainy day and stay flexible. Plan ahead, adapt, foresight, invest. Yeah. So this is what happened, which was a flash bang in the pan. And it might have happened a couple of times. Once in 2010 and maybe once more recently. But this time I think you've got this sword tells me you're far, far clearer on what you want, which is something slow, mature, loving, with equality, equal give and take, mutual respect, and someone you can trust as well, not someone who's going to be in and out and in and out and a flash in the pan. Right, okay. Oh gosh, I'm spoiled for choice. Let's do that. What's the tea? These are the non-romantic ones. Let's see if we can tease a bit more out and then we'll move to the tarot. Okay. Boss daddy, stable, rich business owner, CEO, big D energy. I think I could say dick, big dick energy. It's a name. It's short for Richard. Okay. Not sure who's in there. Boss daddy energy. I'm not sure if it's you or them. Or maybe that's how they see themselves, but they're really not. I mean, I think there comes a point in everybody's life where they're done with the games. It's like, I just want somebody who doesn't play games and lets me know where I stand. Unbothered. Yeah. So I get the feeling this person maybe came back around and you were just like, nah. You can't give me anything I want. I'm not interested in a flash in the pan chemistry. Great, what to do? Travel on top of love's wings. Divine devotion. Ascend. You've changed. You've changed. This person doesn't recognize you anymore. I don't think this is travel as in like college travel. I feel like this is you literally ascending or changing timelines or growing within yourself. Like you've been on a journey, and a personal journey and a healing journey. And maybe you're the boss daddy. I'm not sure who's the boss daddy, but you're unbothered about this person coming back in. This one. Bad habits, drugs, addictions, toxicities. Which is coming out as a complete juxtaposition to baby steps, which was take your time, build your love slowly with care. I think this person might have tried it on again more recently, and you just saw that they were maybe trying to drag you down to a lower timeline, drag you back to someone who you used to be, and you're not that person anymore. And you just can't do it. And yeah, I mean, it's just mirrored in the unbothered card. You're uninterested. You don't care because you want equal give and take. And this person, I get the feeling they think they're a boss daddy and they think they're like powerful and they want power and control and they want to dominate the situation. You're like, nah, I want equal give and take. I want reciprocity. I'm not going to prove myself. I've got nothing to prove to you. Oh, that's so weird. I've got time heals and then I've got wasting time come out. It's crazy. I'm going to just take the one on the top that fell out. Be patient. Give time a chance to work its magic. Stuck. Change. No change is limited. You see this person. If this person has come back recently, you just see them as someone who's just going to waste your time. Again, they wasted your time in the past. They'll waste your time again. That one. Ego. Oops. Or a card flying out my hands. Her ego get in the way of relationship, etc. Exactly. This prayer in the reverse, if it wasn't your energy, this person is entitled and egotistical. They think they're a boss daddy, and like, I think they think their behavior's normal. Like, you know, chase me. Oh, I'm really busy. You know, when it takes like 10 seconds to write a text message, and you're just not interested. You're like, nope, not interested. Go away. Right, that's the feeling I get. Or maybe you entertained it, you know, but not for long term. Right, let's lift out the horror tarot. I thought this was called the gothic tarot. It's called the horror tarot. Okay. It's not really that horrific, not compared to some of my other decks. Right, okay. Do we want this deck? I lifted this out before I realised it was kind of more romantic-y themed reading. Yeah, let's go with it anyway. Okay, so tell me about this boss daddy who thinks he's in his big dick energy. That came out flipped. Oh. Okay, my brain's playing a trick on me. Either that flipped over when I just happened to blink or whatever. Ace of... Oh no, it's not the Ace of Wands. It's the Six of Wands. And this isn't your energy. This person wants victory over you. They want to dominate you. And I don't mean in the bedroom sense. Who is this person? Oh. Sorry. Sorry if this is the one you're crying over. Three of Pentacles. Three of Pentacles. So Three of Pentacles is normally about working with other people, working towards a common goal, but there's only one person in this. And this is interesting. If there's only one person working on it, this person comes in, hooks you in, doesn't make any effort, and expects you to do all the work. And you're like, actually, do you know what? I'm just going to match your energy, and no, you're a giant waste of my time because you're egotistical and you haven't grown, and I have. 10 of Wands. I'm not sure if this is your energy or their energy, the 10 of Wands. I think this person's behavior really burdened you in the past. Really burdened you. Really weighed you down. Or it would have done. But I think you've put those burdens down. In some of the 10 of Wands cards I've got, somebody's made a fence out of them and they're carrying one of the wands. And some of the other ones, they've got the wands still on their back and they're within sight of putting them down. And sometimes they're not within sight of putting them down at all. There's nothing much for this to give me on this one, and I feel in this one that the burdens have been put down. Once upon a time, this person's behaviour would have got you all in your feelings, would have got you anxious, would have got you nervous, and now you just see their games. You've got this sword here, and you're like, no, I'm not interested in power games. Thanks very much. Nor abandoning myself so that you can feel in control and in charge or whatever it is. This, again, I feel this person's a bit of a control freak. A bit controlling. Hi. Oh, it's the Ten of Swords. They put the Roman numerals for this right on top of the illustration, and you can't actually see it. It's an X. Wow. And that's a Ten of Swords to this person. Oh, their ego has taken an absolute smashing. Oh my God, they are absolutely black affronted. That you're like, you don't want anything to do with them. This is a Ten of Swords to them. because they're still stuck in their bad habits, because that's come out on top of the bad habits, drug addictions, toxicities. They are still so stuck in that mindset, that way of behaving, that way of treating the opposite sex or the same sex if it's a same sex relationship. And this is just a ten of swords to them because they don't know who you are anymore. They were expecting you just to get sucked into old patterns, and you're like, no, I've been treated way better than that. I know what I'm looking for, and I also know when somebody's playing games to try and put me off kilter to get me out of alignment. I've got the Magician. This person has tried to manipulate you, but you're not interested. Because you know what equal give and take is. You know what you want. You want equal quality, respect, and care, and they can't manifest it. 8 of Wands. 8 of Wands. On top of time heals and wasting time. 8 of Wands is one of the fastest moving cards in the deck. It's got a lot of energy. It's not quite as fast as the Chariot and, well, the Knight of Swords and the Knight of Wands are pretty sporty as well. But the 8 of Wands can be about incoming messages or shots fired, or did you just tell this person that they were wasting your time? I've got this image in my head of somebody just sending them a meme. There's these brilliant little TikTok videos where like and like little images of like, I'm just asking you for one more chance so I can waste your time, you know, and it's just like, no. Okay, one more. 9 of Swords. Their ego is absolutely smashed. I think this person found out you were single or thought you were single, and they just thought they were going to swag it in. Maybe they've got a good job now. Maybe they're doing really well. And they just thought they were going to swag it in and soak you up with their like toxic behaviors. And like they're just absolutely 10 of Swords and 9 of Swords. 9 of Swords is like anxiety, stress, worry. You've really, really damaged this person's ego. And you've done it in a really quiet, powerful way. Like it's not all about the messages and telling this person about themselves. You're just like, no, thank you. Thanks, but no thanks. I'm reminded of the scene from Notting Hill, again, an old reference, but there's a brilliant scene where she's in Will's bookshop and Dylan Moran is playing like somebody who's like stealing a book. And is that the reference I wanted to say? I forget why I was telling that reference. Oh yeah, he gets caught and he puts the book back and then he recognises Julia Roberts' character and then he says, oh, can I have your autograph? And then he reads what's on. What does it say? And it says, "Dear Rufus, you belong in Jane." It's like, and I can't remember. He asks her on a date or something like, "Would you like to get a drink or something like?" Oh, I can't remember what the words are now. And she's like, "Tempting, but no." And I feel like the way you dealt with it was the way Julia Roberts dealt with it in that film, which she could have been really rude or brash or told him to bugger off, but just like, tempting, but no. You gotta love the humor. Right, let's try a different tarot deck. So this is the 80 White Tarot. It's just a nice wee deck. I always feel like the back of these look tartan, but they're not. They just remind me of like kind of deep tartan colours sometimes. If you can't tell, I'm Scottish and I'm in Scotland. If you're not from Scotland, well, hello. If you can't understand my accent, I'm not sure the closed captions will either. Shall I ring a wee bell? Ring my wee Tibetan bell. Right, sorry, I'm enjoying this now. I'm really sorry if like you're sobbing watching this. If anybody watches this video, because I still only have 10 subscribers. 10 of Pentacles. I'm not sure who this 10 of Pentacles is because it's coming out in this boss daddy energy. This one who wants victory over you. This person might be flashing their money around a lot. They might have a really good job. And I think this is maybe why their ego is absolutely smashed to smithereens, because we've got this 10 of Swords and this 9 of Swords here. Because I think they thought they were just going to come in and flash their money around and somehow that that would make up for, their terrible, terrible behavior. Their behavior, it's like, yeah, that just, that self-entitled energy that's coming out in that prayer card in the reverse. Four of Pentacles. This person, yeah, so this is the Four of Pentacles coming out on top of the Three of Pentacles. Now, this Three of Pentacles gave me the energy of, it's normally working together with others, but there's only one person in the card, which made me think they just wanted you to do all the work. I've got money. I'm important. I'm not going to put any effort in. I texted you once this week. You text me now. And they want you holding on to them. And you're just like, no, I'm fine, thanks. Or maybe this person's holding on to you. Maybe they haven't been able to let you go. But I get the feeling whatever this person's doing, it doesn't work on you. Like it maybe did in the past, not anymore. Their swagger doesn't work. Ace of Swords coming out on top of the Ten of Wands. Because you see the truth about this person. And that's just mirrored in that initial, the Sword card that came out. So you see clarity, truth. You've been on a journey. You've grown. You've ascended. And you're like, no, I'm not interested. I want substance. I want someone I can grow with, not somebody who's going to flash their money about and play power games and think because they've got some money or whatever that's going to, make my eyes go giddy and giggly. Seven of Swords. On top of this Ten of Swords and this bad habits. This person, so Seven of Swords is traditionally lies and deceit. He's carrying 5 swords. He's got 2 in one shoulder, 3 in the other, and then there's 2 in the ground. Whatever this person's intentions are, they aren't good. Oh, so you see the truth about their lies and deceit. Okay, and then we've got the Ace of Pentacles on top of this Magician. So I think they might have tried to offer you something. Because it's coming out, that's coming out on top of the Magician. Like a gift or some money or something by way of enticement. But you're stable, 4 of Wands. You're absolutely stable, rock solid. You know what you want. You know you want, something that's slow, not a flash in the pan. That someone you can plan a life with, not someone who's gonna be like, wow, oh, I'm not sure. You don't want somebody who's not sure about you, or who's got like ulterior motives. And I think you can see right through this person. You can see their lies and deceit. You can see the lies and deceit they played in it. It might be that you can't forget the lies and deceit from the past. I'm getting a bit of a past energy from that. Because the Time Heals card did come out here, which would imply that it took you time to heal from this person, whatever they did to you in the past. I get the feeling they might have just ghosted you, or I don't want to say used you, that's a horrible word, but come in, got what they wanted, and then left you feeling like, oh, right. 6 of Wands again. This was this person wanting victory over here when the 6 of Wands came out in the other deck. This is you've got victory. You've just basically told this person to, in the nicest, sweetest possible way, said no. And this person's ego's absolutely smashed. Because they think they're the best thing since sliced bread. It's a horrible energy. Ugh. I get the feeling that you'd made exactly that same noise, like, ugh, no. I'm actually going to try a third tarot deck. I've got a little mini after tarot here. This was significantly cheaper than all the other after tarot cards, and I discovered why when it arrived, because it was like miniature. It was a third of the size. So yeah, if I hold these up, you're probably not going to see what's going on. So, okay, so we've got the 4 of Cups coming out. So normally, the 4 of Cups is that the person's sitting there ignoring the 4 Cups, even the one being handed to him. So he's rejecting love. In this one, he's got the 4th cup and he is pouring out the water. He's pouring out the emotions. You've got nothing left for this person. And even if you did, even if there was an initial attraction or excitement when they came back in your life, I think you very quickly saw that you'd grown, you'd matured, and you weren't interested in whatever this person. It's almost like they came in and then started doing exactly the same thing again. And then you went, oh no, actually, do you know what? No. And you just poured out what was left of your feelings, if there were any. Knight of Swords. Well, hang on, I'm going to need, these cards are so small, I'm going to need my spectacles for them. So Knight of Swords, as I said before, is one of the most energetic, he's the most energetic court card in the deck. He's coming in and he is raging at this person and he's slaying down this knight on the ground. You probably can't see the 2E, but he is taking somebody out. You did not. This person feels like they're being cut down to size. They really do. Eight of Pentacles. What's interesting about the Eight of Pentacles is normally the Eight of Pentacles is working on it, so you've mastered your craft. 7 is about investing, the 8 is about mastering your craft. This person's finished whatever they're building and they're looking at it with pride. You're kind of like the finished article. You're good on your own. You don't need this person. And even if this person does, you know, have lots of money, you don't need it. You don't need someone with money because you're independent. Death. So we've got Scorpio energy coming out on top of that 7 of Swords. You put an end. A permanent ending. I think when you started to see, I don't think this happened very long. This might have just been like text messages over a couple of days, or maybe meeting up for a couple of drinks or whatever. I think you put an end to it when you saw that this person was just going to come in with the same lies and deceit that they did before, and that they were trying. I think you saw that they were trying to pull the wool over your eyes. 2 of Pentacles on top of the Ace, so that's going from the Ace to the 2, so you've got growth there. Was this person juggling you? This person might have been juggling you, or they made you feel like they were juggling you, and you just went, I'm not competing, see you later. Temperance. So temperance is about balance. I'm getting a feeling of peace from this one because there's a dove of peace. Normally temperance, they have the 2 cups and they're pouring it like a really balanced energy. In this one, the angel figure is pouring out one of the cups into the water, and then there's a dove of peace flying out of the other cup. And I'm getting a real feeling of peace from this card, which is coming out on top of the 4 of Wands, which is, you're just at peace. Well, whatever decision, ending this wasn't difficult for you. And I think you're actually really proud of yourself. And if you're not, you should be, because I think as part of this, it was like a lesson. It was almost like you were being tested to see, and I think you passed with flying colours. That's the feeling I get. I think you just saw, because you've been through it before, and you're like, no thank you. Page of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles is offering his pentacle to some guy with a leaf hat. Not sure about that energy. I'm not sure if this is just you wanting to give your pentacle to someone else, not this person. Because this is coming on top of the 6 of Wands, which is victory. Or something else. Let's take another line of the Horror Tarot and then we'll call it quits. Do you know what? I'm not, because what I do is I take too many cards and then it just repeats itself, which gets a bit boring for everybody. So let's just pull out the Kipper cards. Maybe Dark Confessions. Actually, let's check out these ones. Tell me about this boss daddy. Tell me about this boss daddy. This egotistical, but looking at you, reminiscing, coming out. The snake Competition, enemy, clever, malicious, look over your shoulder at the other woman. Absolutely, this person is a snake. And you know it. Camera, reminisce and keepsake, perception, learn from the past, make memories. You absolutely did learn from the past. Watching, looking, stopping, gaslighting, perception, focusing out. Yeah, this person's just 7 of Swords in it. Yeah, okay. Okay, we'll take a couple of dark, I'll take 3 dark confession cards and then we'll call it quits there. This last card, this Page of Pentacles, I think this is you just offering your pentacle to someone else. And your back's turned to all of this as well. I feel unworthy of having love in my life. I feel miserable and lost. Yeah, this person definitely does. So this person's got stuff they need to work on. I am embarrassed by my actions and feel disgusted with myself. Yes, they do. I think you called them out with such grace and classiness that like there was no way they could gaslight like your command of the situation. I'm getting command of the situation. Like you handled this in the best way possible. Oh, that's 2. I only want 1 more. I have lost faith in you and cannot see a future with you anymore. Well, oh, this is your energy. Yeah, you can't see a future with this person. Okay, 1 more. I mean, I don't think this person wanted a future with you, so oh, that flipped around. I feel overwhelmed. I'm drowning in my own thoughts, but it came out in the reverse. This is your energy again. You're just absolutely fine. You are Temperance, 4 of Wands, absolutely balanced, absolutely stable, going victorious and just taking your pentacle elsewhere to offer it to someone else. Right, I'm going to leave that there. Thank you very much for listening to that little reading, and I hope you enjoy what's left of your weekend, and I'll catch you all later. Bye bye.